I'm just going to show you the API that we are going to use to build a Python script. So we have all the metadata. I've already showed the states data. So here we have the find by pin API that we are going to use. So it is going to return an object like this. And also we have the find by district API over here. So for this, we just have to give the district ID as a parameter. So let's just check for district ID. You can see that I have got the data for the pin code 142, and I'll get a blank data like this, blank sessions when there is no slots that are available. So let me just start with the Python script. We are going to import requests, and this is going to be the header. So this API won't work if you don't send the request with headers. So let's just request.get, and I'm going to paste the URL. So here is the URL, and I'm going to give it a header. And here you can see the response that I've got. It's a response 200. That means that the response is successful. So let me just print out the response. I'm just going to print out the JSON. So x.json is the method, and it gives me the blank sessions as there's no slots available. So I'm just going to copy paste this over here. So we need to pass in the parameters of pin code and the date. So this needs to be passed on to the function as it will be fetched from a MongoDB database. So let's just create a params, and we'll just try how it works when I pass in that as params. So I'm just going to paste the pin over here. Yeah, so pin code will be 11000, and let me just copy paste the date, and this will be the date. Okay, syntax error. Okay, date, yeah. Yeah, that does look right, I think. Let me just pass in as params. uh, yeah, yeah, it's parameters. Yeah, so now if I execute this and I just print it, x is equal to, and then let me just print x.json. So here you can see that I'm getting my data. So I just need to edit this parameters object when I fetch my pin code and my date. So let me just create the function. So I'm going to create two functions. One will get my session by pin code, and the other will get my session by district. So I'm just going to create this function. Yeah. And this will be my district function, and I'll just copy paste the API inside this. Yeah, so this will be the API that will be called in here. So I'm just going to give so this parameter will be passed into my function. So I'll have the pin code, and for the day, let's just create day like this. I will we will figure something out for the day later. So let me just copy paste in the district API. So this is the district API now. So this has to be dist, and let me just edit the API. So I'll just I want to extract sessions from here. So let me just write it like this. So and I also want to do the same over here, and let me just print x. I'll have to save this first. So api.py, right? So this is saved, and I will take the district ID. I'll take the same district ID where the sessions are there available. So I'll just put in 142 and I'll just copy paste the date as well. So this will be the date. If I just do get dist, I will getting get dist is not defined. This let me just run this, and response object is not subscriptable. Why is that? Response 400. Okay, I have to do a JSON. Sorry, my bad. So the API is working, so it should work. So I'm committing some kind of mistake someplace. It says that there's an error code URR URS001 input parameter missing. So okay, so yeah, input parameter is district, in this case district ID. So this should work. Yeah, here we go. So here we have all the slot data in here. So from the slot data we need to extract if there is a slot for our user, and we will return it back. So this, let's just extract the sessions from the dictionary, from the JSON packet, and let me just do the same for get pin as well. If it's working, let me just check. So yeah, I'll have to change this again. Let me just copy paste this. There you go. So there you go, we have a blank list over here because there are no slots available. So this makes our conditioning quite easy. I just have to check if the sessions list is empty or not. If it's not empty, then it means that we have some slots there available. So after that only it will execute the rest of code. So I'll just write this into a response, and let me just do the same over here, right? And let's just print response dot status. So our response will also send a status code, so we can check if the response is successful. Only then we will execute the rest of code. Otherwise we will just raise an error. So there is a, so when the successful, the response code will be 200, and right now it should not be successful, and it's giving key error because we can't extract sessions from there, right? Yeah, if I put the response status code here, you can see that I will get a 400 error here because I have not inputted the right parameters over here. So that will do it. So we just need to create the if condition like this. We will first check for the response status code. If it's 200, only then it will get inside the if condition, and we will check for the length of sessions. So if the session is blank, we don't need to check for the slots because there are no slots there. And so what all we need to extract, so we should probably extract the name and the district name. So these two will be we will draft this into a message, and it will be sent in our email, which I will show you later in this code. So let me just store this as set center. So we are going to extract name, and we are going to extract the district name. Okay, so this will be our message, and we are going to return an object. So this object will contain if our query was successful, and also our center details. So this will be the object. So yeah, that's how we'll write it. That's done. So I'll just copy paste over here as well. It's the same thing over here. and we are going to put this in a try and catch block. So suppose if there is an error, if the response is not valid, and if there is a status code error, so it will be raised as an error, and we'll just catch the error and we can print the error and see if what's wrong with that. So let me just create the except block, so exception as err, and we'll just print the error here. And we also need to know where the error happened. It happened in the pin API. So let me just copy paste over here also, and it will be in the dist API. Okay, so by default, if the success is not true, we will send success is false, so that we don't send an email to that particular user. Okay, so that is it, I guess, for the APIs. Yeah, so is there anything else? No. I'll just show you what our functions will do. So there is get pin, and then there is get dist. I'll just print that out. So here we have get pin, and let me just copy paste the get dist part. Here it is, get dist. So let's just print the output. Okay, it's running. I think there's no output though. Okay, there's supposed to be some kind of URL bad handshake error. Let me just run this again. Okay, so yeah, so there was some kind of internet issue, I think, and now it's working. So you can see that error occurred in pin sessions is because there's no sessions there, and so the success is false in that case, and the second case success is true. Okay, so that concludes our API.py. So now here is our email alert file. So basically we are using the smtp library, and we are going to input all the sender account, username, password, and all the details inside this. So it will just start the TTLS, and because it has to be a secure connection, and we'll just log in with our email, username, and password, and we're going to send in a subject and message. It's going to be extracted from the API, the message that we have in the API, and then once the email has been sent, it will just server.quit. So if I just call this right now for a sample email, so so the input that it will take is will be an object. So I'm going to keep one parameter as the email ID, and the second parameter will be a message. So let me just take sample one, and it's not going to send. I'm just going to show what the input will be when I write the main code, and this will be a message. Let me just send this. So yeah, it will not send because the username and password are not accepted. So I have not currently put my email ID and password in this, but when I put it will send the email as per the connection. So let's just start with the main code. So this will be a main.py where all these functions will be called, and also our mongoose, we will establish a mongoose connection. So I've just copy paste uh, the way to calculate to get today's date in the required format. So I'll just import my files here, import email address and email API, and also we are going to import the mongoose library. So we are using pymongo, and from that we are going to call the mongoclient. And let me just create a new connection with this command. Client is equal to mongoclient. And so this will establish a connection, so I can just check it over here. So if I can just check it over here, I'll just call client. Okay, and we have a database called COVID-19. So if I just call client.covid19, it should give me back a database. So here we have it. We have a database called COVID-19. If I just store this in a variable and then print the collection I want, so I want the users. So if I just go db.users.find, I will get a pymongo cursor. So I'll have to use a loop to iterate through all the documents. So I'll just write the loop here for I in db.users.find. Then I'll just print I for now. Let's just print I. And if I run this, you'll see. One second, there is some kind of error. Yeah, these files are executing. So when you have imported some files, so you can just not have them execute if you just put it in the if condition, if underscore name is equal to main. So if you call this file from a second file, and if you execute this, so it won't execute the part inside that. So I'll just do the same for the API as well. So I'll just write this here. There we go. Okay. So now let's just get back to this. If I print I, you can see that all my objects are being printed. So I just need to I need to get the district and the pin code, and I have to call my APIs for that. And once my API sends back a result, true, a successful true and a message, then I will send an email to those users. So that is how it's going to work. So I just print that we are checking slots for which email ID and what the pin code and the district is. So I just put the API as is_pin variable. So it will give api.getPin. So this is going to be I pin. And day, we are going to use this code. So this basically gives the day in the format that we want. I'll just show you to this once. If I just do print today and execute this, okay, date. Oh, I'll have to import date time first. Okay, there you go. So you can see that we have the day in the required format so that our API can take this. So here we go. We will just put in today. I need all the slots that are open today, and we'll do the same for isDist as well. So isDist will be, I'll just copy paste this, and it will be get dist, and this will be I district. Okay, so this will give our all the API results, and so now we need to write the part where we send the email. So we'll have to check first if the ispin is sending a successful or not. So if ispin is successful or is this, so either of them are true, then we need to send the email. So I just made a object for a list for the email. So we need the list of the users. So it will iterate once through all the users. It will add all the users into the email list. And once this iteration is done, one loop is done, then it will send all the emails. So I'll just append all the emails into my email list. So email id will have the user's email id, and the message will be the message that my API sends back. This will be email, and the message will be the API message. So we also need to check if is pin is equal to success. So we need to get the message according to the pin API or the district API. So here, if ispin is true, then we are going to send message as ispin. So it will give the pin code center, else it will give the district center. So this will give the district center. So here we have the message as well. So once we have done this, now let me just print the email. So you can see that yeah, you can see that my email list has all the 3 email IDs, right? Now if I just print the result here, so you can see that the it is successful. So it is successful 3 times for 3 users. So we have added this to our email list. So I'll just once show you how it works when I have put in the right email. Okay, so I'll just put in my credentials. There you go. So I have put in my credentials and it is sending the email, though it will fail because this is not a real email address. So it will send the address to this, and here we go. So our app has been completed.